Out here today in Vanderbilt University. We have the election coming up tomorrow. Can I ask if you're supporting Donald Trump or Kamala Harris?
I'm going to be supporting Harris.
Absolutely. Is there something about Kamala Harris that really excites you as a young man?
I mean, honestly, I can't say there's a ton that excites me about her specifically. I mean, it definitely is a huge deal that we have just the optics of having a black female president. I think that says something a lot about how far this country's come. But, in terms of her actual personal politics, I feel like they don't necessarily reflect what what a lot of young people are feeling right now, especially on certain issues.
Absolutely.
But yeah, definitely she's a better alternative.
Well, I know in the 2020 election, she ran as very progressive. She was for mandatory gun buybacks. She was against fracking. She was against criminalizing anybody coming over the border. But she's flopped on all of these issues. What do you think of her flopping on many of these progressive causes that she took up on 2020?
I mean, I think there's certainly a lot of restrictions to working within the U.S. governmental system, and yeah, I mean, the truth of it is a lot of candidates are going to promise stuff that they're not going to deliver on. But even still, I don't think that just the fact that she hasn't gotten to those yet is a necessary, it doesn't make it any less possible.
Absolutely.
In the future, yeah.
You were mentioning her being the first black woman, if elected. Could you talk a little bit more to the significance of this last so-called glass ceiling that she'd be breaking if elected?
Yeah, if you were to ask someone in a campus interview like this, even like 20 years ago, if that was even possible, probably mostly no, like at least 60% no. And yeah, again, just the optics of that.
Yeah.
Politics aside, just the fact that someone can come from a background like she has and make it to, the head of this country, it just says so much.
Yeah. She's obviously a person of color, and Trump's actually been trying to break into some of the people of color to get support from the black community. Have you seen Trump make efforts at outreach to the black community, and what do you make of those efforts?
It's a joke. Like, no self. There are, honestly, I've been surprised, on this campus, there are black people who unironically are supporters of Donald Trump. But the absolute majority of the black community wants nothing to do with that guy.
What do you make of the black Trump supporters that you see around campus?
I struggle to understand it. It's like I can understand a Clarence Thomas or a Candace Owens who are getting paid to, support those kind of views, but just as an average citizen, an average voter, like, you're literally kind of going against your own interests. So I don't really get it. But,
There's a few things Trump said he did to try to reach out to the black community. First, he did the jail reform, the criminal justice reform in his first term.
Yeah.
And then he freed some popular black celebrities like
some
Kodak
rap.
Black,
Yeah, free Kodak.
that I
Come
guess was popular. And then he also did the checks, the stimulus checks that I guess were particularly popular among black people. What do you think of those attempts from Trump and black people who say they support him because of that?
I mean, again, it's like, it feels so clearly like, an optics thing. Like, freeing Kodak Black, sure. How about free the thousands of black men that have been put in jail over the last 50 years for dealing drugs that are now legal in most states?
Yeah. On that vein, though, I mean, Kamala Harris was a prosecutor back in California who was responsible for, putting some of these people in jail. So do you have any reluctance supporting her given her DA past?
I mean, that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, I support her. I don't support 100% of her politics. I don't support 100% of everything she's done. Again, she's definitely a better alternative. But, yeah, of course, there's that aspect of,
There's one last thing I wanted to ask you. You're obviously a young man, and that's been one of the core demographics that was supporting Trump and Trump was trying to reach out to. What would your message be to other young men who are debating on supporting Trump or Kamala?
That's a really good one.
Thank you.
Just think about the world that he really wants for you. Is that really what you want to be a part of? Is that really, when you look at him, do you see yourself? If you don't see yourself, you should consider something else. 'Cause, yeah.
think a lot of people see themselves in Trump.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Either way, sir, thank you for your time. Was there anything else you wanted to mention?
No, not really.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much for your time. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Good.